Hey everyone. Thanks to everyone who watched my previous videos. If you haven't seen them yet, go and check them out. I wanted to talk about my experience in Burke Street. Uh, for anyone that doesn't know, there was a massacre in Burke Street on January 2017, where someone did a hit and run, just a totally random hit and run in the downtown Melbourne, Australia, and six people were killed, and about 30 or so were injured. They were actually hit by the car, and this was just a totally blatant, deliberate attack. The guy that did it has since been on trial, and he was jailed for life. I think minimum 40 something years jail. But yeah, he's a total crackpot. Like the stuff he says. Yeah, total whack job. But yeah, basically my experience with it is I was in the city that day. Caught up with a friend. We had lunch somewhere, and then we decided to go to Burke Street Mall, and then we walked out of some store in Burke Street Mall, and then just literally right there and then, we saw the car just rampaging through. Yeah, it's pretty horrible to talk about, but I did see people flying in the air, and people in the media, like the witnesses did describe people flying in the air like Skittles. And that's exactly what I saw. And I really hate talking about it, but in a way, I reckon, if people come forward about it, and reveal their experiences, I reckon it can only be positive. But yeah, so I saw all that rampage, and what happened was I was with a friend at the time, and yeah, we both walked out that store, and yeah, like we heard people screaming, like just like women scream, like girls screaming, like just really loud. So that's why I looked to my right, like a friend of mine I was with looked to his right as well, and then we just saw the car running, and then the first instinct was to just run out of the way, like split second, and so yeah, we both ran forward, towards the tram tracks in the middle of the road. And yeah, no doubt that if we both just didn't move, we would have got collected. And the car was travelling at about 60, at least 60 kilometres an hour. So that's about 40 miles an hour or something. And that's really fast in a mall, like a walkway. This is like a mall, basically, where the cars aren't even allowed to go through this section because it's for shopping. The only vehicles that are allowed are like authority stuff, like police and that. Like you do see cops driving through, they kind of take advantage, but whatever, that's a tangent. It's yeah, so I saw all that unfold, and yeah, it was very brutal, and I still have PTSD from it. And I avoided going to the city for a few months. Like, I think it was it happened in January 2017. I only first went back to that area near where it happened in like November. So yeah, it was a few months and very brutal. And like whenever I cross roads, I take extra precautions. But yeah, in the incident, if we both didn't get out the way, we would have both been collected. And yep, it's just absurd and crazy what happened. And there was some woman like came out the same store we were coming out, and up the I don't know what's the escalator, and she actually got hit like we ran out the way, but she was right behind us on the escalator. She got hit and she got flipped in the air, and like a 360 in the air, and like fell on her back. I have no idea what happened to her. But yeah, that was very disturbing to see that, and yeah, just the whole thing is just absolutely it's just unbelievable. Um, it's just full on and brutal, and a lot of people were affected by it, no doubt. And a friend of mine I was with was affected mentally by it as well, pretty bad. And uh, yeah, he was actually like a few meters closer to the car. Like I missed the car by about 2 seconds. 2 extra seconds would have got hit, maybe 1 second. But yeah, he ran into a phone box. Like there's a payphone there, and he just ran in towards it because he has a limped leg. So like he was kind of hobbling out the way of the car and like ran into the phone box. So and there was a brief moment for about a minute where we both didn't know where each other were. Like a mate of mine, like we were just where is he? And he was wondering, and it's just relief when we both realised we weren't hurt. But yeah, I was extremely traumatised by it, and I don't know, like it was a long day because after that we went to Fed Square and just sat there for like 2 hours, like on the phone, like calling people, keeping them family and friends and that, like keeping them updated on what happened. And yeah, it was just ridiculous. And a big reason why I post videos about Melbourne and make posts about Melbourne and how I don't really like it is a big part is because of that incident. And I already had felt this way about Melbourne before it happened, but this incident just it's just really confirmed it for me. And what happened after that incident was they started installing these concrete blocks like around not just Burke Street Mall, but in surrounding areas around the city, like where people walk a lot. Like they just put these ugly concrete blocks everywhere to stop cars, because the media was concerned about repeat attacks. So yeah, it just didn't really add to the vibe at all. Like it just made the whole thing worse, and just the aesthetics of the city just got more ugly, and with the concrete bollards they put her up, and but yeah, and I don't know, like it took me like 2.5 months after the incident to really move on from it. Like I'm still affected by it, but for 2.5 months after the incident I was having nightmares, and it was pretty hard to deal with. And yeah, and I just reckon, like, in the aftermath of all this, like the culture of I don't even have a whole lot of anger towards the guy, to be honest. Like I did at the time, for about 2.5 months after it, but I just see a bigger picture and just how the culture is just fucked up, and especially in the West, especially in the English-speaking countries. But in Melbourne, it's just a toxic environment. Like people are very anti-social. I'm not saying that that excuses what that prick did, but the bottom line is Melbourne is a toxic environment. People are antisocial, and people do value materialism and money way more than they should. And just the general vibe and character of Melbourne is just very tarnished for me. And, like I just reckon it's a toxic environment. Like the public transport is shit. That the incident happened. It's just Melbourne, just toxic environment. I'm telling you, like they say the world's most liberal city. It's lost that title, but you know, I'm surprised it even had that title to begin with, and Melbourne still ranks in the top 5 most livable cities in the world, which just boggles my mind. You know, like given it has had that incident and all these problems, and you know Melbourne's a joke. It's a mess. That's all I can say. And yeah. To anyone who was witness or even involved in the incident, I can understand, how you'd feel after it. And yeah, it still bothers me to this day, but I've been dealing with it very well. But I felt, it was best to finally, reveal my experience with it. It's a pretty heavy topic, but I feel like it was best to share it. So if anyone has any comments, or you were there at the incident, or, well, you just want to comment, leave a comment. And, but yeah, definitely like, comment, subscribe. There'll be more videos coming soon.